Hello aviators, welcome back to my channel Skybreakers. In this video, I would like to explain new series about Airbus 320 aircraft, basics and system on A320, then normal and abnormal procedure of A320. Thereafter, we'll discuss about limitations. If you did not subscribe to my channel, please subscribe so you can watch my regular uploading video. Let's start. In the world, different manufacturing company making different types of aircraft. For example, Boeing, Airbus, Embraer, Cessna, etc. A320 aircrafts manufactured by Airbus. Airbus formed in 1970. Manufacturing unit located in Toulouse, France. Airbus making for civilian use. You can see here different types of aircraft series. Out of this, I am going to explain detail in A320. A320 first flight was in 1987, but publicly started using from 1988. We'll see in detail. Airbus 320 aircraft was the first fly-by-wire transport aircraft. Normally, to control the aircraft using iron cables and pulleys in the olden aircraft, but A320 was the first aircraft to using fly-by-wire systems, that is, replace the iron cables and pulleys to using sensor and wires. The advantage, reduce the weight of the aircraft and easily to control. Next one is short to medium range. Normally, endurance of the A320 aircraft approx 9 hours. Endurance with the available fuel, how far aircraft can go. Next one is the different aircraft using different types of the engine. For example, high bypass turbofan engine, low bypass turbofan engine, turboprop engine, pure jet engine. But in A320 aircraft used by high bypass turbofan engine. Next one is maximum range 2800 nautical mile to 3200 nautical mile. Maximum seating capacity for A320 aircraft 180 to 189 passengers. Maximum ram weight approximately 78 tons. Maximum speed the A320 aircraft can go 350 knots, or if we consider in Mach 0.82 Mach. The cockpit is designed for 2 members crew, that is captain and first officer. In behind observer, 1 or 2 seats available. Old aircraft has 2 or observer seat and modern aircraft 1 observer seats. Next one, it has optimized layout of 6 LCD or CRT display unit, giving all the engine parameters and guidance. The absence of control column ensure excellent visibility of all instruments. Disclaimer about this video, never use this for your airline training purpose. You can refer to company FCOM, stands for Flight Crew Operating Manual, or FCTM, stands for Flight Crew Training Manual, or QRH, stands for Quick Reference Handbook. In there, elaborately given all the informations. Normally, golden rules for flight crew is aviate, navigate and communicate. But Airbus made different golden rules for Airbus flight crew. Here you can see, first one is fly, navigate, communicate in this order with appropriate task sharing. The second one, use the appropriate level of automation at all time. Third one is understand FMA at all time. FMA is flight mode annunciator. Fourth one is take action if things do not go as expected. In the left side, you can see here aircraft top view, side view with the measurement, height, length, width. You can just go through it for the basic knowledge. Next, we'll discuss about cockpit or flight deck. Here, the flight crew sit and operate the aircraft. In A320 aircraft cockpit, general operational rule is light out philosophy. That means the systems are ready and fit to fly. If any lights illuminate in the cockpit, so consider as the abnormal condition or need to carry out the procedures. Now I am going to explain in detail about cockpit. Here you can see this area we can called as a pedestal. This area we can called as a central panel. This area we can called as a glare shield. This is the overhead panel. Normally, whichever the aircraft is using control column will be fitted here. So forward visibility to see the display is obstructed. So A320 has side stick, and over here we'll get good forward visibility to see the instruments. From here we are going to discuss about different panel in the cockpit. The first one is pedestal. In the pedestal, MCDU you can see here. The MCDU stands for Multifunction Control and Display Unit. MCDU 1 is for the captain side, MCDU 2 is for the first officer. It's kind of the redundancy. The MCDU 2 used to give the input to the brain of the computer, that is FMGC, stands for Flight Management and Guidance Computer. The MCDU normally long-term flight operations. Next one is the cockpit light. That is, this knob is used for increase and decrease the light and display unit. Next one is RMB. RMB stands for Radio Management Panel. It's used to select the frequency and to communicate with the ATC. When the emergency or electrical configurations, and so we can use the navigation equipment from here. Next one is ACP. There is audio control panel, and this is like increasing the volumes, and we can select the frequency also in this. Next one is a cockpit light, the same as and increasing and decreasing the intensity of the lights. Next one is AWR, airborne weather radar. This is used for normally for the knowing the weather and turbulence, and even the wind shear also, wind shear warning also it can give. Next one is speed brake lever. The speed brake lever used for reduce the speed of the aircraft and decelerating the aircraft also we can use the speed brake lever. Next one is radar trim. The radar trim normally we use for the single engine operations to adjust the radar, and this knob is we can use for the whether like we need to use the right radar or left radar deflections. Next is like we have the small window, how much degree is turned. Next you can see the one small push button. This push button is for the resetting the radar trim. And next one is the cockpit door indicator switch. That is like to lock the cockpit doors. Next one is switching panel, and this panel is like normally we have this normally should be in the 12 o'clock position, and if any DMC, display management computer, or like our IRS, ADIRS is like fails, and so we can switch to standby and equipment. Next one is and the ECAM panel. This panel is ECAM stands for electronic centralized aircraft monitor. There is a display unit normally, and from this panel we can monitor different system page, for example hydraulic, and then after that electrical, engine, pressurizations, etc. Next one is the thrust lever. The thrust lever increase or decrease the power of the engine. And next one, pitch trim. Normally this is automatic. Next one is ATC. Normally where we put the squawk code or the transponder code on this window. And engine mode selector or master switch. The engine mode selectors, and normally this knob and for the key of the aircrafts, and this is engine number 1 and engine number 2 master switch. Next one is flap lever. Flap lever, we have the 4 positions for the flap lever. This is a parking brakes, and gravity extension landing gear. This gravity extension landing gear, suppose in the hydraulic failure, we couldn't deploy the landing gear on the normal configurations, so we can use the gravity extension landing gear. Here we'll discuss about central panel and glare shield. First one is EFIS. EFIS stands for Electronic Flight Instrument System. It consists of 4 displays, that is PFD1, ND1, PFD2 and ND2. PFD stands for Primary Flight Display, which will give information about altitude, speed, attitude, heading, flight mode annunciator, etc. ND stands for Navigation Display. Next one is ECAM. ECAM stands for Electronic Centralized Aircraft Monitoring. ECAM has 2 displays, that is EWD and ST. EWD stands for Engine Warning Display, that give the engine parameters. ST. ST stands for System Display. It will give information about systems. Next one is ISIS. Integrated Standby Instrument System. Suppose all the display units are failed, still we can fly the aircraft using ISIS. It will give information, altitude, speed, vertical speed, attitude, ILS, etc. Next one, we'll discuss about FCU. FCU stands for Flight Control Unit. This is for short flight time use. So we can select altitude, speed, heading and vertical speed. Next one is PFD ND brightness. So we can change the intensity of brightness from this knob and switches. Master warning switch and master caution switch. EFIS selectors. This used for change range and the modes of EFIS. Next one here, landing gear and auto brake panel. The landing gear normally whether retractor or deployed, it will be shown on the indications. Next you can see here the one toggle switch. The toggle switch is anti-skid and nose wheel steering toggle switch. Next one, 3 indicator you can see here. This is for braking action push button. Next, this is the landing gear lever and altimeter setting, and here you can see there is a window you have and you can set the QNH here. Next is chrono, there is a time to set, auto land lights, GPS lights, air outlet, speakers, then brake pressure. This is a landing gear lever. This is a standby instrument. Next is DCDU. DCDU stands for Data Link Control and Display Units. Next one, this is a tray and speakers. So just pause the video and go through all the. This is overhead panel. The first one is ELT. ELT stands for Emergency Locator Transmitter. Next one is ADARS, stands for Air Data and Inertial Reference System. Next one is hydraulic panel. This panel is called hydraulic panel. Electrical panel. This panel, emergency electrical power. Next is GPWS, CVR, cockpit voice recorder panel, oxy panel, calls and wiper knobs. Next is exterior lights, that is landing lights, taxiway lights and logo lights. These all are the toggle switch. Next one is maintenance panel. These all the push buttons and for the maintenance use. This is the primary circuit breakers. This is a circuit breaker panel and switching knob. Then ACP3 and RMB3, this is a standby. And fire panel, this is the engine number 1, this is the engine number 2, this is for the APU, center one. Fuel panel, this is a fuel panel. And flight control panel, this is a flight control computers, we have different ELAC and SEC. And this is a air conditioning panel, this whole, the cargo smoke, indications and all will get it here, ventilations and manual start push button, the pressurization panel, this is a pressurization panel. These all automatic. APU start and master switch, here the start switch and master switch, and signs and light. The signs and lights normally for the seatbelt sign and as well as smoking signs. Normally A320 aircraft is the pressurized aircraft. Some areas are unpressurized. Normally aircraft to pressurized taking air from engine. When we give too much load to the engine, fuel consumption will be more. For that reason, some places on the aircraft not pressurized. That is, first one is radome and nose gear bay, air conditioning compartment, main gear bay and tail cone. Next is Airbus 320 aircrafts fitted with n number of communications and navigation antennas. Just pause the video and go through it. These all are the different systems of A320 aircraft: pneumatic, air conditioning, pressurization, ventilation, electrical, hydraulic, landing gear, flight controls, communication, fire protection, fuel, engine, APU, equipment and indicating recording systems, navigation and surveillance system, and oxygen, doors and cockpit windows, waters and ice rain protections. I will be explaining each system in detail in different videos. Hope you got the basics information about A320 aircrafts. Please subscribe to this channel so you can watch my regular uploading videos. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, do not forget to press like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment below if you have any query. We'll see you in another video. Happy landing.